Hi, it's June 2nd. I thought I'd do a quick garden tour. I stopped down this evening just to check on some things. White alliums are looking beautiful. They're going to be coming to an end soon. The summer perennials haven't started blooming yet, but a lot of them have buds. Probably within the next week or two. Let's go inside. Start with bed one. Got my radishes in the front, broccoli, and then in between the broccoli I have 4 tomato plants. I've already harvested 4 heads. I gotta harvest these up front. Too warm for them. They're already starting to want to open up and flower. I have 2 in the back that are just starting to produce heads, so maybe I'll get decent sized heads from them. White alliums here. These are shelling peas I have growing. The only pea variety that's doing well. I actually ripped out 2 of the other varieties yesterday and planted beans. This variety is doing well. It's starting to get flowers. And the name is Little Marvel. Annuals I planted, the marigolds are all blooming now. Here are iceberg lettuce and this beautiful scarlet Napa cabbage. I was given seeds in a trade. And then in the front there's carrots and then a row of French breakfast radishes doing nicely. Got some perennials and bulbs along the side. And I have my 4 cherry tomatoes doing well. All the tomatoes are really bouncing back and growing now, getting buds and flowers. This is the indoor front flower bed. Salvia is blooming. It's beautiful. My pink yarrow is getting ready to bloom. Herbs I planted in the box are doing well. Red vein sorrel is looking beautiful. I did finally plant the archway I built. One side I planted, oh, and look at that. Yesterday they weren't up and today they are. I planted Aran Purple Star runner beans on one side. Looks like they all came up, but one, so, oh, nope, there's the other one. They all came up. Lovely. And on the other side, yesterday I planted 2 varieties of mini pumpkins. Baby Blue and another one called Hooligan. So they're going to be on the other side. I also planted on either side of this trellis climbing nasturtium. Never grown climbing nasturtium before. Here's my music garlic. Will be coming out shortly. I have to cut the scapes off. Here's the other 2 cherry tomatoes on the opposite side. These are a variegated variety I'm growing. It's a cross that I'm growing. The original cross name was Copper Penny. They're still showing some variegation in the middle. So that's not a stable variety. I have 4 plants growing this year. Tried to stabilize it. Pick my favorites. Coneflowers are getting ready to bloom. I planted some determinate varieties in buckets yesterday. That's lemon balm that volunteered last year and I just left it there. Kohlrabi is doing wonderful, bulbing up nicely. I got a green variety and a purple variety. Along this trellis I did have sugar snap peas growing that didn't do well. I ripped them out yesterday and planted 2 varieties of beans. One is Buxton Buckshot and the other is Old Joe Clark. So half of it will be one and half the other. They're both considered half runners, so they only get maybe 3 or 4 feet tall. And then I did plant, you can see these poles sticking out of the ground. There's 4 of them, and actually they're coming up last weekend. I planted some pole bean varieties, 4 varieties. Oh, those really came up. This is Scheffer Gold. I believe it will have a yellow pod. Onion sets are doing wonderful. Cabbage bed. wonderful also. Look at that beautiful cabbage. This is a purple cone-shaped variety I got from Baker Creek. I believe it's pronounced Calabas. Got a couple of them. Some Savoy cabbage and Brunswick cabbage. Pansies are hanging in. And then once it starts getting warmer, they're going to die off. Variegated sage. Beautiful. Along the front last week, and you can't see them, they're like blades of grass. Those are white Spanish onion plants I planted. 2 more tomatoes I put in buckets. This is the other pea I did let on the trellis because they are doing better than the other 2 I ripped out. This is Spring Blush sugar snap pea. Look at those beautiful flowers. This is bed 3. I got 5 dwarf varieties planted along the front. They weren't looking so great, but they're bouncing back. Planted some marigolds and snapdragons in between. That's a row of Benny's red onions. They're starting to pick up now. They were just like little blades of grass originally. A volunteer sunflower. This is one of the vining nasturtiums I planted yesterday and the bloom opened. Isn't that beautiful? That's another variety. Emperor of India, I believe it's called. It's a dark red nasturtium. Now this trellis here, I did have snow peas planted on and they just weren't doing well, so I ripped them out and planted a lima bean called Snow on the Mountain. So I just planted those yesterday. Here's another vining nasturtium. It was a mixed pack, so it looks like I'm going to get all different colored flowers, which I'm pleased with. And here's my carrot and beets. They're doing great. I'm not thinning them. I'm going to try the Charles Dowding method. I did that last year and it worked well, so I'm doing it again. I know that looks like they're really packed in there, but it works. They push each other out of the way. You pick the bigger ones and then it leaves room for the smaller ones to keep growing. This is red sales lettuce, looking beautiful. This is a variety of garlic called Brown Rose. All my garlic they are getting scapes. Volunteer sunflower. That's the white borage I planted 2 weeks ago. These are lupins I planted that I started from seed. I planted these last weekend. They're probably not going to flower this year, but give them a try. This is bed 4. Have a row of those onion sets again. They're supposed to be a long storage onion. They're doing great. This whole open spot here is going to be for summer squash. I have them started at home. Along the front I have 5 dwarf tomato varieties. They're starting to pick up. Nasturtium, which is called Cherry's Jubilee. Beautiful. Everything's starting to look healthier now. This bed of garlic, I have 2 rows. This is a variety called Russian babushka. Also getting their scapes, so I gotta cut off them. Along the back here, I planted more of the white Spanish onions plants the other day, so they're still little. Volunteer sunflower, some snapdragons. I planted some zinnias. This is a perennial. It gets yellow flowers. Garden friend gave me this echinacea. I believe she said it's German echinacea. It's very tall, beautiful. At first it wasn't looking great when I transplanted it, but now it's perked up. This is bed 5. These are the 10 tomato plants I planted a couple weeks ago along the back with some marigolds. they have really taken off. Don't mind the weeds in the background. That's our fence line. I'm gonna do some weeding in here. That wild, kind of looks like a morning glory. Comes up every year in this bed, and I gotta weed it out. Dahlias are getting bigger that I planted in the corner. I love how all three of them have different colored leaves. It was a mixed pack that I bought called Bishop's Children. So I'm anxious to see them bloom. And I planted this yesterday, one on either side. This is the Lollipop Gaillardia. I got that from Baker Creek. That's bed 5. That's the garden. I put up a bean teepee yesterday. Forgot to show that. That's in bed 3 in the middle. And planted 5 segregates from a bean called Chocolate Bean. I'm growing those for Russ Crowe. So each pole has its own segregate. I like adding different heights to my garden. Different colors mixing in the flowers. I really added a lot of flowers this year. I did that last year on a smaller scale and I loved it, so I said this year I'm planting a lot more. So it's going to be really colorful and lush, hopefully. I'm hoping we have a better growing year than last year. So that's the garden, June 2nd.